Welcome to the next level of training for Alongsiders Mobilizer. We've designed this course for those of you who are already leading or are helping to lead an Alongsider movement, but are ready to learn how to multiply your leadership even more and reach more youth and children. Why do we need to grow? Take some time now to think about the children in your communities that do not have an Alongsider. What are the challenges or difficulties they face? In our research, we found that children with an Alongsider are almost twice as likely to be in school and almost 3 times more likely to have someone help them in their homework. But even more beautiful is the increased sense of hope and trust that God cares for them. This is what it looks like when a child's life is transformed by God's love. There are still thousands of children who are struggling and long to have an Alongsider, and thousands of youth who do not have a sense of passion and purpose to love their neighbor as they love themselves. They are missing out on the opportunity to make a difference in a child's life. Stop the video now and take some time now to ask God to renew your heart for the children in your community. Reflect on one child that you know that needs an Alongsider and doesn't have one. What are some of the hardships that vulnerable child is facing? Picture yourself standing with him or her in the middle of their hard situation. How do you feel? If you're in a group, take some time of prayer and reflection, imagining yourself in the middle of the difficult situation that child is facing. Then each of you can share about that one child that God has laid on your heart. As you listen to each other and God, ask God to break your heart for the children and the youth of your nation all over again. We find that most first-time leaders in Alongsiders are able to mobilize about 50 Alongsiders before they can reach their capacity, especially if they don't have the proper leadership support in place. You get busier and busier following up 50 Alongsiders, and you no longer are able to grow the movement beyond that. In this course, we'd like to teach you how to go from 50 Alongsiders to 500 to 1,000 and more, growing from 50 to 500 Alongsiders. The key to getting unstuck is multiplying yourself. You need to go from adding more Alongsiders that you have to follow up all by yourself to adding more leaders who will do what you did before and follow up on their own Alongsiders. You've likely already learned about the importance of area reps and the role that they have to play in the movement. You also may already have your first group of active area reps in place, which is wonderful. In this module, we want to talk a bit more about the crucial role these leaders play in supporting you, in helping lead a thriving movement that can grow well beyond you as an individual leader. You can identify these leaders from the beginning, or you can start right now if you have not yet. Your challenge now at this point is to ask God for the eyes to see potential leaders who can now come alongside you as area reps. As a reminder, an area rep is just like you, mobilizing and equipping youth to become Alongsiders who will walk alongside their little brother or sister. But they take care of a particular area. They recruit new Alongsiders, they can start new groups, they should support their groups, they conduct training when needed, just like you have been doing, but in a different area. In Luke chapter 10, Jesus sent out his mobilizers, the disciples. These are men and women just like you. And in each town, what did he ask them to look for? He asked them to pray for a man or a woman of peace. These should be the ones who welcomed the vision they brought and who demonstrated kingdom values. As you think through the particular kingdom values God has given us in the Alongsiders movement, ask God to lead you to the women and men of peace who demonstrate these values. Here are some men and women of peace values to look out for. Belonging, a heart for welcoming and valuing youth and children. ownership, wanting to make sure that the movement is locally led and resourced. Mastery, a willingness and an ability to teach and equip, and most importantly, purpose, a real passion for living out the vision of seeing one generation reach the next. Take some time now to pray and think about new leaders that God lays in your heart. There will be people who reflect the values of the Alongsiders movement. They may be young, mature Christians who are already Alongsiders or group leaders themselves. Can you make a list of 5 to 10 potential leaders? These are the men and women of peace. Stop the video now and pray together. Then make a list. Now you have a list of potential new area reps. In the future, if someone contacts you about starting Alongsiders in their area, commit to not create orphan Alongsiders. Orphan Alongsiders with no area reps to follow up with them and encourage them. Wherever you go, identify local leaders who will commit to take responsibility for the Alongsiders in the area. Think about inviting Alongsiders who will show real commitment to step up and become area rep for their area. Finally, take some time in the end of this video to plan and take a group of potential area reps through the Mobilizer 101 training if you haven't already. You can download the videos and the workbook and train them as your next level of leaders. Think about how your role as a leader or coordinator will change by having more area reps working with you. Now, your focus needs to shift a bit from equipping the youth directly to equipping and supporting the area reps. You are shifting from being an implementer to being a multiplier. You still have a heart for welcoming and valuing youth and children, but instead of just recruiting and mobilizing Alongsiders yourself, you now need to focus more of your time and energy on training, mobilizing, encouraging your area reps to do that job. Before you know it, you'll have taken your movement from 50 Alongsiders to 500, 1,000 or beyond. Imagine the lives of the children and youth that are going to be impacted.